Hey, good morning, Facebook family. How's it going today? Hi, Krista. What's up?
Good morning, Karen. I haven't really talked to you. You have to share how your weekend went or your long weekend with your time in the
Oh,
woods.
my long weekend included a day and a half in the woods, which was really great. Not long enough, but still really great. And I'm excited because today, we have Evan from Hoyt on. And I have some questions because, I normally will hunt out of a tree stand and I hadn't got to our property and checked all my straps. And so it's a big no-no to climb into a tree stand when you haven't looked at it. You want to be safe, everybody. And so I hunted out of my turkey blind, which I've been so busy I haven't taken out of the woods yet. So, like, normally I would have had my turkey blind put away. I see Evan, so I'm going to bring him in. But how was your weekend?
Mine wasn't as fun as yours. It sounds like yours was great.
Oh, mine was great. I have to tell everybody, hey, Evan, we got you on.
Good morning, ladies.
Good
Now
morning.
that that's running, not there we go. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You look great. There we go. You guys, I'm so excited to have Evan on. I've known Evan for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I've also, I shoot all kinds of bows, but I've shot a Hoyt many, many times. And just actually, it was the first bow I ever bought that got me a win. And so that's important to me in terms of competition.
We're a little proud of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. And anyhow, so Evan, I knew him when he was at Bill Pellegrino's Archery Hut. I got to give a shout out to them, one of the places that helped me get my start in my archery career. And now Evan's at Hoyt, and he does tremendous things. So, Evan, why don't you tell us what you do at Hoyt, and we'll jump right in.
Well, official title versus what I do, because it is a little different most days. So official title is pro staff manager. So I deal with all of our pro staff on the compound side, hunting and target, foreign and domestic. I get to work with all of our freelance writers, editors, photographers within the industry. I'm also doing a bunch of social media work for us right now. One of our main in-house hosts for the Hoyt Bowhunting podcast that we've recently started. So trying to do scheduling and all the organization and show prep for that.
Krista knows that's not necessarily easy.
Yeah, lots of little things going on here and there. So keeps me running, keeps me busy. So
that's great. So I'm going to jump right in with some questions because we talked about, well, first off, let's start with the big Hoyt news. Guys, Hoyt has just announced a new bow for women. It's called the Eclipse. And tell us a little bit about that bow. It looks pretty fast.
Yep. So what we have is a 29-inch axle bow. And I actually have one sitting right here next to me.
Let's see it.
Guys, figure out where I'm pointing.
We got you. I know it's all backwards.
Yeah. So what we've done is, one, we wanted to take the mass weight and really lighten it up, but maintain a better price point. So ways we did that is, one, we stuck with an aluminum riser, so its only option is in the machine aluminum, not in a carbon frame. We have a cable slide instead of a roller system, which is lighter. Okay. It also has less moving parts, so it has less going on, less things to potentially malfunction in the field. We have the integrated rest system on here, which is the Q80 Integrate MX system. So it's a direct mount on a dovetail. You have dual locking components on a micro, vertical, and horizontal adjustable rest. That if you can see this on the side, there's no extra bar sticking out to the side, so we reduce total standoff on the side by over an inch. So we're trying to keep everything tighter to the bow.
So does it come in right and left then if the rest is integrated?
Correct. Comes in, yep.
And is that QAD the flip up kind? So does it have
a little? Yep. So you have a thumb lock on this side. So if you push that down, your rest locks up into place, and it locks at about an 80-ish degree angle. As you come to full draw, your draw cord gets tension and it comes to a full 90. If you let down, your rest stays up in a vertical position. So you still have a 360 capture.
Yeah.
The rest isn't physically tripped until you shoot, and the energy of that bow causes the internal mechanism to trip and then drops down out of the way.
Right.
Or you can trip it with your thumb. Here, quick down.
So, Evan, I'm going to tell everybody why that's so important, because for our non-archers that watch, what's really important about that is that especially when you're hunting, you want your arrow trapped, because you're going to be moving around a lot. And as you're going right to left or looking down, you don't want a chance that your arrow falls off the rest. And then you go to get excited and you go to take a shot and you miss because your arrow's fallen off your rest. And so it's really important. Yeah, right. Me too. It's real important to have that integrated rest system that will trap your arrow. And it's very important. As a matter of fact, I used one this weekend, and thank goodness I did.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear a story there.
Yeah, but there is a story. Well, so I have a question for you. I hunt out of a tree stand normally, but as I told everybody earlier, I didn't get a chance to check my straps. And so I chose not to risk my life and climb into my tree stand that I hadn't physically inspected yet for the year. I've inspected it now, by the way. I did that before I left.
Now I'm more comfortable with it. And
I'm hoping to go out. If Crystal will let me off work, maybe I'll go out again this week. Anyhow, so I hunted. I was lazy and I didn't take my turkey blind out of the woods last year, and so this year I hunted out of my turkey blind. And I have friends that tell me two rules of thumb. One is that they think that you should shoot a deer out of the turkey blind with the windows closed. I've got one of those Primos surround sounds or surround view, so I can see out of it. Yeah, They told me I should just shoot through that blind and not try to raise the blind up to shoot through the window for deer. And what is your rule of thumb? I was scared to do that because I was afraid that my arrow would deflect and I don't know, bounce back. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't bounce back, but I don't want to mess up.
I think the bigger question there, before I get too deep into that, is what broadhead are you running?
I'm running a Rage. It's got the serrations on both sides.
Don't shoot through mesh.
Ah, okay.
My personal opinion, another good person to ask on this would be Matt Bateman from Grim Reaper, is any expandable broadhead, you're not shooting through mesh because of the potential chance for deployment. If you deploy a mechanical broadhead going through mesh, all kinds of bad things are going to start to happen. If you were shooting a fixed blade, absolutely, I don't have any issues with that. I've shot fixed blade 1.5-inch heads with a higher profile vane, such as a blazer that is 0.6, and that allows the pre-cut and allows that material to get out of the way as the vanes come through. And I've taken shots up to 55, 60 yards out in Wyoming on antelope through the mesh on a blind.
So I think I told you wrong because mine aren't mechanical. Because I'm not a fan of mechanical broadheads with a lower poundage, even though I'm pulling right at 50 right now. I don't. It's a fixed broadhead. Oh gosh, I should know the brand. It's a kind that has the 3 points, and so if it were coming out of the animal, it'll also cut. So it's like it's got a blade on both sides of the.
Oh, it's a fixed edge on the back that's got a blade cut to it. Okay.
I thought that was a Rage. I don't know. I'll go back and look. It's
I don't broadheads very often. There's still made that version. We
don't have a broadhead partner, so if we had a broadhead partner, I'd know. But now I just shoot what the guys at the archery shop tell me to buy.
And it could be G5. They've got a Montec. They've got a new Striker series. Both those have back edges that are sharpened. Ramcats do.
It's a Ramcat.
Grim Reaper Hades.
It's a Ramcat.
Shoot it through. That's one of my go-to fixed blade heads.
Okay.
I mean, Bill and I were shooting those way back in 2010 when they first hit the market, and I have not had better arrow flight than when I put that broadhead on.
Great.
So
cool. Well, thanks for answering that question, Krista. I'm sorry, I got more questions. So I'm hogging all the time. So I'm gonna go back to the eclipse real quick because we talked about feet per second, and I know that some people don't know what feet per second is either. And so what's important about feet per second is the faster your bow shoots, the less your air at the release of the arrow will make on the target. And so that's why feet per second is so important, why you want to shoot a faster bow. Because if you make a mistake and your bow is shooting 5 seconds, right, it's going to go. And by the time it gets to the target, it's had a lot more time to make that adjustment. But if it's fast, the faster it goes to the target, the smaller the error is that you've made at your shot. So if you've jerked your trigger, which I never do that. Ha ha ha.
and even goes beyond that, truly. I like a faster bow for a couple reasons. One, I have a shorter draw length. So any amount of speed I can gain out of my setup is a benefit. The other thing is when I look at the animals I've had opportunities to harvest, very, very few of them am I actually getting the opportunity to range that animal and then draw. A lot of times it's, I've ranged maybe a couple points if I'm lucky, like, okay, this tree is 37 yards, that trail is 48 yards, this bush is 23. And of course they don't step out near any of those marks, so it's okay, I have a reference, but I'm guessing, are they 7 yards past it? Are they 5 yards? Are they 10 yards? So you have a general scope of where they could be, but you're still essentially shooting an unknown distance animal. A faster bow will have a flatter shooting trajectory, which means if I screw up and I misjudge by 7, 8, 10 yards, my margin of error in how much that arrow is going to drop in that missed distance is significantly reduced, because if I'm shooting 300 feet per second, I'm going to drop, let's say, 3 inches. If I'm shooting 270, I could potentially drop 8 or 9 inches, which hit or miss.
Right. So. Yep. So that's great points. Krista, did you have something? Nope. We lost Krista. We love technology this morning.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what, something with our cameras this morning.
Yeah, technology is cray. So that is another important reason on that Eclipse bow why you guys would want to consider that bow as, and I really think honestly Hoyt's leading the way this year on bringing out something for females that comes in a lower draw weight and still is a great option for women. It's as you look on the website trying to find them, it's difficult. I'm excited about it, I gotta tell you.
Well, and it was something unique. We haven't had a women's specific bow in a long time. Right. I want to say going back to like the Sierra series,
right?
Which is just before I got into a shop. I think I was still in college when that actually came out. And we've had signature series that you could do color upgrades to and things like that. And we had we did have the actual Vixen. It was a separate bow by itself in 2010. Because that's what I had my wife shooting at the time. So it's been essentially almost 10 years since we had a specific women's designed and engineered model bow. When you start talking about a specific women's design, when you talk to women about what they're looking for, what their needs are, most of the time what we're hearing and the feedback that we got for this specific model bow was, I want it lighter mass weight. I shoot a shorter draw length, so I need a shorter draw length range that is going to maintain speed, energy, and efficiency at those shorter draw lengths. Okay. One, that's where our base cam system comes in. We've always had the number 2 and the number 3. You go back a couple years, we even have the number 1 cam. So we shrink our cam sizes as our draw length range decreases to maintain energy and efficiency at those shorter draw length ranges. It's what we pride ourselves in. We also heard, obviously, most women are going to pull a lighter draw weight. By that, it's 60, 62 pounds and less. Most of them are in that 52 to 56 pound range that are hunting. So with all those parameters in place, we said, okay, we're going to design a bow that we're not going to offer heavier than a 60-pound peak weight limb option and a draw length no longer than 28 inches. That considerably changes the parameters of our testing, because when we look at doing our 1,500 dry fires and our 1,000 limb cycle or 1,000 shot cycle tests and our 1,000,000 draw cycle test, when you are talking about those parameters in 60-28 versus 70-30, it's a whole different engineering structure and concept. So a 60-pound 28 bow is going to produce less energy than a 70-pound 30 or an 80-pound 30. So we can start shaving and taking mass weight out of the riser itself to lighten it up. So our finished bow at 29-inch axle to axle, which is amazing for the string angle and therefore how your head, or that effective string position we talk about, it's going to be how that string comes across your nose and in the corner of your lip. As you go longer, your head has to start peaking up because that string angle is getting steeper. As you get shorter, you start creeping down. So if you have a 29-inch bow and a 30-inch draw length male, you are very, very flat. So when you anchor in, whether you're doing a handheld here or an index style here, your nose as an additional anchor coming to the string gets very, very low, and I'm looking through the top of my eye socket. On a female who is a shorter draw length in general, you know, most are going to honestly be in that probably 24.5 to 26 range. That is the ideal axle length for those draw lengths on that string angle and position. So we have a 29 axle bow that comes in at 3.7 pounds. It's a tenth, which is 1.6 ounces heavier than our carbons.
Yeah, and that's important for those of you that hunt out west and carry that bow for a significant period of time. It might not seem like a lot when you first start, but it gets pretty good. And it needs to be durable just in case you fall a lot like I do when I'm out hunting, like I fall a lot.
And again, Hoyt Tough, like we pride ourselves in our testing and engineer standard, so that when you're on that hunt of a lifetime, you can go down a rock scree avalanche chute, you can beat it up, you can bang it up. We have 0 tolerance pockets for our limbs, 0 tolerance on our limb at our cams. So nothing is going to move and get out of whack.
Yes.
Beat it up, put it through the riggers. It's a tool. Yeah. Use it.
Well, I'm going to let Krista talk. Once I got just one. Sorry, Krista, and you're muted, so unmute. When I was on this 10-day awesome elk hunting adventure, your bow, I fell. The bow was great, but you know what I bent that I didn't realize was my sight, and that stunk because I didn't find out until it was time to go. All right, I got to let Krista have a minute.
Am I muted?
Nope,
no, you're good.
All right, so I have to say first, if you're watching this live, whether you're watching it live or in replay, this is the time where you throw an emoji or raise your hand and say, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Right? So great information. Me being a brand new bow person and new to archery. And fortunately, I have the benefit of kind of hanging out with, wait, there she is, Karen.
Yeah.
So Karen, teach me what I know. We're working through that. It's on our working list for this year so I can learn more. But for all of those people that really want to learn something, don't have a shoot like a girl in their backyard, and don't know what the next steps are, what do both of you advise they do next? Where do they go? Who do they call? How do they take that next step?
Yeah. So if you don't know where your local dealer is at and you're wanting to get into it, go to Hoyt.com. We have a dealer locator on our website where you can type in your zip code and it'll pop up however many dealers we have in whatever radius from you that you want to look at, whether that's 50 miles, 25, or 100. We have a huge, extensive national and international dealer network, and they are more than happy and willing to get you in put a new bow in your hands, and let you test a multitude of options. So depending on what price point you're looking at being in, if it's just something you're looking at doing recreationally with the family, or if it's something where you might start recreationally, doing some indoor leagues during the winter with boyfriend, husband, kids, however you want to start, we can get you in a bow model at any different price range that's going to fit you well and do exactly what you want to do with it.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to add to that. So if you find a local range, go to the local range, walk right in, right up to the counter and say, I don't know anything about archery, but I would like to learn. And you're going to have more than everyone in that archery shop probably trying to advise you and help you, because it's such an inclusive family. We talk about it all the time, but shooting sports really is one of the most inclusive environments I know. And it may be uncomfortable going into an area that you're unfamiliar with, but if you go in and just say, I don't know and I want to learn, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody in there that wants to help you. And if you walk in and don't feel welcomed, then just turn around, go right back, find another dealer or another range near you and go to that one, because that is going to be the rarity. Most of these dealers. And if you're in Colorado Springs, hey, got to do it. Go to Bill Pellegrino's Archery Hut and check them out, because I will tell you what, that is a family-owned business that is dedicated to helping everyone be as successful as they can in archery.
Yeah. And guys, sorry, I cut you off, Krista.
I was gonna say, we actually have somebody asking a question that's really important. Is the Eclipse out now? Can they purchase it now, today?
Yep. And it should be at your dealers. We did not do a pre-order for dealers like we have in the past, just because of where we're at production-wise on a couple other models. It is launched. It is out there in the industry. We are building and shipping. If your dealer doesn't have one readily available, we can get one there within 2 weeks with you ordering it.
Wow.
So we're really, really on top. We've got the parts and the pieces to be able to build those and get those to where we need them to be. Going back just a little bit to walking into your dealer, like Krista pointed out, you are going to get a multitude of information. They're going to talk about brace height, axle, speeds, cam design, let off, releases, arrows, all kinds of different technical and performance things that are coming from the manufacturers, and they're going to flood you with information. Please do not hesitate to say, stop, I don't understand this, or I don't understand that. Ask a lot of questions. A good person will be able to go back and help explain things so that you are comfortable and you understand everything about the bow that you are about to look at or purchase. Because if you don't, and if you walk out of there confused and you're kind of like, I have something, but I don't know features, I don't know why I bought this one, that's not what we want as a manufacturer. That's certainly what that dealer wants to avoid as well. So ask a lot of questions, make them slow down, and just take their time, because you want to be comfortable first and foremost.
Yes.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
And I got to add on to that, because if you order your bow and it doesn't fit you right after they've measured you, they should guarantee the fit. So if they measure your draw length and they fix your bow, so all of you, we can always tell when our logo is jacked, because my dad created the female archer off of an old picture of mine. And if you look at the logo, my arm has too much of a bend in it, right? So our logo has too much of a bend. And that's because, not from Pellegrino's, but the very first bow I bought, the guy sold me what he had on the shelf. He didn't really take time to fit that bow to me. So I learned to shoot with a bow that did not fit me properly. So I learned improper form. And now I have correct form, thankfully, because I had great people like Evan and Bill to help me. But, and Kurt Geist, God love him.
Yeah.
So we had the means to help me get over that, but so make sure they guarantee the fit, and the fit is the draw length, right? So they're going to measure you just like a pair of trousers. They want to make sure that when you hold the bow out, that the distance of the string back to your, help me explain that technically in layman's terms.
Yeah. So it's basically from point of contact to grip of the bow. As you come to full draw and your hand is on your face, that's called your anchor. Handhelds, you'll anchor like this. So you create a V with your index and your middle finger, and that goes right on the point of your jaw as your jaw comes down from your earlobe and shoots towards your chin. There's a point. You basically, that's called your knuckle. Put that knuckle right in the V, and there's your handheld position. If you turn your hand flat and you create a tabletop, the webbing between your thumb and your index finger right here, if you shoot an index, this is what we're going to use. So your thumb will line the bottom of your jaw, and we'll put that same knuckle point right in the webbing, nice and easy. So if I'm completely open, it'll stop there, and that'll be our anchor position.
Yep. And that's what we teach at the trailer. Get that knuckle right in that groove so that you've got bone on bone contact. Evan, oh my gosh, we've gotten a lot of information and we are well over our 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to push the limits.
Thank you. Well, you sure do. You always do. I tell you what, it is so great to see you. I always love spending time with you. We've got a little bit of house cleaning. Crystal, turn it back over to you in a second if there's any last words. But thanks so much for joining us today. You all, no matter what, go out and try something new today. Let's have that be our goal of the week is let's go try something new. And if you've never shot a bow, march on into your local archery dealer and say, hey, I want to learn and check out that new Eclipse. Krista, you got some housekeeping, I know. You guys have a great day.
Right. And if you guys do try something new this week and it includes something in the archery world, we'd love to see your pictures. Last week, we had Diana Mueller on with DC Project. And so we do have a winner. So Evan, we didn't really talk about this much, but we do a like, comment, and share. And for every episode, someone likes, comment, and shares, they get an entry in essentially to win either a Shoot Like a Girl piece of swag, or could be, for example, with DC Project, they're giving a t-shirt to the winner. So that winner for last week is Chrissy Sarah Spurlock. Thank you for hopping running last week. And we'll do the same thing for this live. Make sure you like, comment, and share, and we will enter you in to win a package for next week.
And be sure to let me know sizes on that, and we will throw in a hat and a t-shirt as well.
Thank you, Evan. So we are so glad you guys joined us. Now, this weekend, we head out. We're back on the road. We actually got one weekend off. It was amazing. I got to be honest. It wasn't quite long. But that's okay.
You guys have been running nonstop here.
We are running. We are in Garner, North Carolina at the Cabela's, and we are very excited. The store has been super amped up about us coming and getting ready for all of you to come out. So make sure you join us, Cabela's, Garner, North Carolina, Saturday and Sunday. We are 9 to 5 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday. Evan, any final things you want to share before we head off for today?
Well, enjoy the outdoors, ladies.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.